We are Error.
I wake up at 5 a.m. every fucking morning during the work week. Rub one out in like 10 minutes.
How?
I have to.
That means that you have to plan out waking up early to jerk off.
Yeah, dude.
Even when I didn't wake up early,
You have
I
like
was still fucking...
a daily calendar like I have in there for jerking off?
No, I just do it. I have to do it every fucking morning. Because if I don't do it, I start...
Are you wrangling the piss bone every morning?
I'm wrangling the piss bone.
The piss bone isn't meant to be wrangled by you.
Oh, I wrangle it.
It's meant to be wrangled by a woman. Because all women always love the piss bone.
I don't have a fucking woman to fucking wrangle the piss bone for me.
Then get a pillow.
Gross.
No, it's not so far-fetched, though. I feel like it's pretty simple. You have one of those anime full-size body pillows.
Oh, come on. Just because a guy likes anime, he's going to buy one of them pillows?
I'm just saying, Javi, there's no
body count.
And you don't have a girl that you just spoke of?
Alright, but I'm just saying, I have to, because if I don't, I start to fucking leak throughout the day.
What?
Because...
You start to what?
Because...
You start to lactate?
No, bitch!
Out of your dick?
Out of my dick, yes.
What are you talking about? You have so much semen backed up.
Pre-cum is just falling out of
I'm
you.
not
when
kidding.
you're
I am not joking.
Do you have this problem?
No, I don't think so.
Because fucking every day I just get the urge to like want to fuck somebody, and then I'll start to like fucking blow up in my pants, and then I start to fucking leak.
Whoa.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Are you dead serious right now?
So fucking serious, though.
Dude, his balls must be bigger than yours, then.
Yeah, dude, mine are huge, and I don't even have the big bag problem. You know what I'm talking about?
Dude,
Like,
I don't have big balls, bro.
Why'd you point at him like?
Well, why do you
real quick,
lactate so much?
I'm not lactating. I'm just saying.
You said lactate. Did he not say
I
lactate?
said leak.
What does that mean?
Like, fuck,
Is there something wrong with the pipe?
No, I don't know drippy fuzz. Just when I get fucking horned up at like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, happens like clockwork.
Because you're looking at all that ass on
No,
your phone.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
you're in between calls. You're on calls looking at
I can't
Instagram
work
fucking
I can't-
cosplay models.
Here's the thing. I work in an office full of females, so I can't like run the risk of a cat popping a boner looking at ass at work. Which is why I can look at it here. I don't care if you guys see that I'm popping wood.
Are you popping one right now?
No!
Are you leaking right now?
I'm not leaking. You know why? Because I jerked off this morning. Like American.
All right.
I just got to jerk it, Doug.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the beginning of a Toy Story podcast, too. Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the We Are Air podcast. This is Duck. I am here with
Jake.
And
Javi.
And what is the We Are Air podcast? It's a podcast where we talk about leaking dicks.
Oh, I do have a leaky dick.
And movies.
It's just it pre-cum. It's not gonorrhea or the clap.
It's not what?
It's not gonorrhea or the clap.
It sounds like an issue, dude. It sounds like a medical issue.
It is not.
Gonorrhea is the clap.
Is it really? I thought chlamydia was the clap.
That's the drip.
Yeah, do you hear that little applause in your pants?
Yes.
It's because you got a shit ton of gonorrhea. Also, we talk about movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. And today, we're going to talk about... I'm still stuck on the leaking contest.
You just want to get out of your system.
Oh,
You
God,
might
dude,
have chlamydia or the drip.
Dude, I had chlamydia once.
First of all,
It
I got no
sucks.
sores. There's no discoloration.
Does it burn when you pee?
Fuck no. My
That's
dick
what
is
I
healthy.
found out, dude. I called up and I called up like the local like chlamydia place, I guess it was. I didn't know what it was. It was burning. It
The
sucked.
Center for
I gotta-
Disease Control.
I
They came in the hazmat suits
Yeah.
and wiped me down.
got a healthy cock, Duck. It's fine.
That's fine,
He's
Javi.
good.
I don't think it is. It's a he. I guess it is a he.
Almost
Never
all my
mind.
internal organs.
That's
Why
right.
wouldn't it
I guess it can't be a she.
Yeah.
She's fine. What do you mean?
All my internal organs are female, but my dick is male. Liver, she's a good old girl.
What about your womb?
My liver, she's a good old girl. And you got the twins that are my kidneys, Edna and Gertie. So it's
Edna and Gertie.
yeah, Gertie's on the left.
What's
Edna's
their
on the
last
right.
name?
Like Weizenbaum.
Are they sisters?
They're old Jewish sisters.
And Gertie. God.
You're drinking again, Edna? I sure am, Gertie. Do you want some of this?
Yeah.
Fucking alcoholic kidneys. It's not my fault they want to drink. They're all Jewish women. Wow. Once again, we talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about. And
Let's
right
be sure to
now-
give them some kidney stones.
I have no idea where I'm at right now.
Kidney stones.
Okay, Javi's crying.
Oh my god.
Are you leaking too?
No. I already jerked off today. I ain't leaking.
Oh my god, how many times do I have to hear I've already jerked off today?
Daddy, you leaking?
What the fuck, dude? That is not something a woman should ever have to say to you. You been leaking today?
Yeah. You got something dripping out of you.
Oh, you're dripping! Oh. cheese? What is it like?
It's a little thick and runny at the same time.
It's like a yogurt.
Oh,
No, but is that a thing? Really?
it's clear.
No
It's
one-
fucking pre-cum.
Prick 'em.
That's not normal. You know that, right? I'm 34 years old. The last time that anything like that happened to me was like when I was 13 or 14. That should not be happening when you're 32. How old are you?
32.
Yeah, that should not be happening, dude. That's not normal.
It's normal.
It's not. Have you asked your doctor if that's normal?
It's normal, Duck.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So, like, right now, like, while we're talking, you could be...
I am not leaking. Why do you want me to be leaking?
No, I want to know, what are the stipulations? When you get horny, you leak?
When I get horny,
I'll cut this all out. I don't care. I'm
and
so,
I get
like,
horny
freaked out.
so fucking often. Like,
Yeah.
I look at one of my coworkers, like, God damn, I want to fuck her. And I'll get horny and I'll start to leak. But if I jerk off, I don't get those leaks.
Oh, well, that's okay. So if you don't jerk off, you pop mad boners all day. That's whenever you get pre-cum. Okay, so it made it sound like you were just like
Yeah.
Oh, no,
would
it's
just be
just-
sitting down and it's just like leaking out of you. Like that's not normal.
Well, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
You too,
no, I
right?
get it. I was sitting here like, what do you mean you leak? Like,
That's what I was sitting there going, like, that's not normal
just
at all.
insane. He's
So-
a fucking raging pervert.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought.
Trying to get a fucking charge at his
Here's
job.
what I
That's
thought.
what he's saying.
I thought that if you woke up in the morning, you jerked off, and still throughout the day he was leaking. Not like 2 to 3 days of not, taking care of it.
Bro, I went 2 weeks once as an experiment. I fucking hated that shit, bro.
I flooded the
As an experiment.
What was the experiment?
Just to see how long it
Did you get Bill Nye involved in this son of a
No,
bitch?
I just
Like-
wanted to see what would happen if I didn't fuck for 2 weeks straight or jerk off or anything.
Yeah.
Left the toilet looking like a birthday cake.
Oh my god,
So
man.
much icing everywhere.
That just went everywhere.
Oh, God damn it.
That was like one of the only few times where I caught myself in the face.
Oh, God damn it, Tommy. All right, let's start this over then, I think. Oh, shit. Okay, let's talk about the movie news.
Boo-doo-doo, boo-dab, boo-dab, Willy Wow.
Wow. All right, so I'm often wrong about many things, and I must take credit for this because I was extremely wrong. I said Men in Black International was going to do gangbusters. It has not done gangbusters. It has done 28 million domestically.
Yeah,
over the weekend.
It's got like what, a 5.4 on IMDb.
It is
It's
very
like really
lowly.
low on Rotten
It's
Tomatoes.
very low rating. I don't know what happened, but from my understanding, F. Gary Gray, who is the director,
Yeah, F. Gary Gray, whoever the F that is.
motherfucking F. Gary Gray,
F you,
bitch.
Gary Gray.
The director has distanced himself from the movie already. He said it is the fault of the producer. He said that is not the movie he wanted to put out. The movie he wanted to put out was destroyed in the editing, and he has said that is not his fault that this movie sucks. I really wanted to see it, and
Fuck, you should just go down with the ship, stand by your work.
So I thought, why didn't they bring back Barry Sonnenfeld to direct it?
Right, that would have made more sense, bring it full circle.
Exactly. Barry Sonnenfeld has a very distinct style for directing, for timing, for comedy, all those things. And yeah, he doesn't always hit, but god damn it, when he was big in the 90s, he hit almost every fucking time. Addams Family, Adam Family Values, those are fucking classic comedies. Men in Black 1, 2, and 3. 2 is not great, it's fine, but 1's pretty good and 3's entertaining. He did that movie with Tim Allen, I can't remember, what was it?
Santa Claus?
No.
Santa Claus 2?
No. Did you like the Santa Claus?
I love the Santa Claus.
Yeah? Were you a fan of that?
Fuck yeah, I love that movie.
I don't
The
think
first one I did, I saw it also.
Oh, there's
I'm
more
trying
than
to-
that?
was it-
I'm only kidding. I know, they're all crap.
Other than the movie we're going to talk about today, has Tim Allen ever done anything good other than his comedy after he got the cocaine possession?
Home Improvement was good.
Was it?
Yeah.
Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy
God
Quest.
damn it, Jake, you are fucking
My
right.
grandpa's hammer.
Galaxy Quest is the shit.
I'm trying to think.
God, you know what? I just want to watch fucking Galaxy.
Wild Hogs.
Oh, yeah. What? Jungle to Jungle.
You know what? That
I
fucked me
kind of
up.
like Jungle to Jungle.
You know what fucked me up about that movie was on the VHS release of it. They had a preview for the French version of the movie that was made before it, that it was a remake of.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, that seems like the same fucking movie I'm about to watch right here. What's going on? Why did they do that? And did you guys watch the French movie?
No.
You like that movie?
I do kind of like Jungle.
Has Tim Allen done anything other than Toy Story in the last 20 years?
Oh, he's on a, like,
Probably more cocaine.
more cocaine, and he's on, like, apparently a Republican TV show.
He married a girl from 3 towns over from mine. I remember everyone being like, "Oh, Tim Allen's in town." I'm like, "Oh, that's fucking great." All right.
Was it Tim Allen telling you that Tim Allen was in town?
That was his character on Home Improvement.
I know, that's what made me laugh, because remember, Tim Allen's coming. Oh, the other thing that they said about Men in Black, bringing it back to that, Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, they actually hired their own personal writers to rewrite the script during the filming of that movie.
Oh, wow.
That is so fucking terrible.
I was thinking about movies that were made that did not work out, and I kept going back to the Terry Gilliam Don Quixote movie. There's an amazing documentary called
Man of La Mancha.
Thank you. And that documentary goes over the making of that movie when they're trying to make it with Johnny Depp and a very old French actor and how it fell apart. And that's when I realized movies are very fickle things. Like, things can happen that literally was the weather that destroyed that movie, and then the actor for Don Quixote got sick. That documentary is fucking amazing to watch, but you realize it really brings it down to earth and makes you go like, holy shit, these things could be a fucking disaster to work on.
Oh, yeah.
The Joe Blow video on The Abyss, where they talk about that, is a great example of that, too, where...
Apocalypse Now.
Oh, yeah, that's another one.
Man.
Yeah.
That's what Tropic Thunder was based off of.
It's supposed to be a fucking nightmare.
That's what I'm saying. So they don't always go as smooth. You think with all that money thrown behind it, everyone be on board, everyone be all gung-ho, and it's just not that way.
These big, expensive productions like this, though, they're butting heads with the studio executives all the time also.
When you hit that level, you hit like a certain level of ego where they're just like, no, I want to do this, and they're just going to fucking bicker with the studio until they get their way.
Right.
On to the next. Bill and Ted 3 is beginning production, and that's excellent. Whoa. So, Alex Winter, bitch by the way. Bitch by the way, I watched some of Freaked earlier this week.
Yeah.
That fucking movie's so good.
It really is.
So good.
Yeah.
It scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, but I didn't really get an appreciation for it until I was an adult.
Oh, dude, the first time I watched it, I think that was the tipping point. The first time I watched that where I went, you know what, I'm a little bit fucked up, and I really, really like this movie. And that, oh, god damn it. Watch Freaked if you've never seen it.
It's so good.
It scared me, but I would still watch it as a kid, but I was just like, oh god.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I literally, that It 2 trailer that just came out, I literally had a moment where I pussified and went, oh no. Dude, that moment where the old lady freezes for a second, I'm like, oh, here it comes. Oh, here it comes.
Oh, it's going to be fucking badass.
I can't wait, dude.
Great. Bill Hader?
Are we just naming the actors that are in
I'm
it?
excited to see Bill Hader in like a serious movie.
Professor X?
Is he in it? James McAvoy in it?
Yeah, McAvoy's in that.
Who plays the black guy?
Oh, why would you ask?
I thought it was going to be Donald Glover.
Oh, dude, I'm behind that.
But he's going to die.
Did the black guy die in that movie?
Yes.
Is it a horror
He was
movie?
the only person to die from the main group
Is
of
it
kids.
a 90s trope movie?
Based on a book, and yes, it is a 90s trope.
Oh.
Tim Curry was in it. Did you ever know
Yeah,
the
the
original?
miniseries.
Dude, Tim
It's a
Curry.
2-part miniseries.
Fucking terrifying Pennywise.
Does that miniseries hold up?
Yeah,
it still scares
it's
me
pretty
to
good.
say.
Okay.
Alright, if we're going to watch it, I have to watch it with somebody.
Breathe.
Yeah.
Oh, God. No,
You could just put her dick in your mouth
Dude.
and just lay it on her lap, suck on like a pacifier while you're being a baby.
Shrimmy breathe. Alright, so they're going to start production on Bill and Ted 3. Alex Winter sent out a tweet saying, we're starting this motherfucker. This is all it says, but I don't care. But I'm excited. I want to see that movie.
It's going to be
really
breathtaking.
No, you're breathtaking.
Here's the video, guys. I want to show you guys. Here's the video.
Here's the video.
Here's the video, guys. I want to show you guys.
Show you guys this video.
Let me show you a little video.
This is me fucking your grandmother.
Hey, Mitch, come over here. Let me show you something. Oh, God, why would you show me that? It's me fucking your mom. Oh, the Iron Man. Yeah, man. I watched it.
Javi, did you watch this yet?
Yes.
Okay, so what we're looking at is Adam Savage of Mythbusters
Mythbusters.
fame has built a working Iron Man prototype. And you can go to YouTube and watch this. They released it 3
But
days
if
ago.
Iron Man had lupus.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up the way he built it. I think they used a 3D printer, and the legs are all fucked up. But
Who's Shin's cave?
it hovers, though.
and goes forward.
Yeah, but it's not. It's okay. So he's got an exterior armor that does nothing. This is just plastic that he's wrapped around himself. The real fucking marvel here is the jet propulsion that are on his
Right.
wrist and the rocket pack on his back.
Right, but you gotta spice it up a little bit.
But I just want to say, this kind of like annoys me.
Why?
You think about how far we've come from 1900 to now. We got computers in our fucking hands. Had we been working on this shit from then till now, we would legit have an Iron Man. And I'm never gonna see like a fully functional Iron Man suit in my lifetime. And that makes me a little bit upset.
Okay, in your lifetime, you've went from a TV like that
Dude, I bet.
to a TV like that. And you have a TV in your pocket, and soon there's going to be TV
Okay,
in the
but
glasses.
I want to be at an age where I could enjoy the full-fledged Iron Man suit.
First of all, you really want to go in an Iron Man suit and float and fly?
Yes.
Is that really something you want to do?
That would be dope.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
All right, I'm alone and saying, fuck that. I want to fly, but you know what? I want to be safe, too.
Well, you're in an Iron Man suit.
You're not safe, though.
Bro,
So many shots
riding
from
a firework at that point.
Fought the Hulk in it.
shots from Thanos. Clean shots.
He fought Captain America and Thor in it.
Okay, are we talking like just
And
like
the one that's
flying
I
like
want
that?
that Iron Man suit.
In fact, I got a plan. We're
Yeah.
going tonight. Here it is, and you roll it out, and you're just like, we'll sneak in the
Christ,
back.
let's get it. Like fanboys.
We'll throw down. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna throw down a bologna sandwich, and Adam Savage will grab it because he loves bologna sandwich.
No, I don't want that Iron Man suit. I want the one that's on the big fucking screen.
All right. Well, we break into Robert Downey's house, and we take a bologna sandwich. And
That
we throw
sounds better. He'll eat the bologna sandwich.
You
He
know
eats
what?
something in every
He
scene.
seems like the kind of guy who would enjoy a bologna sandwich.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I like this. Did you see that he's working on nanotech now?
Yeah.
He has put his money, his millions and millions of dollars that we all gave him by going to see the wonderful movies, and he has legit become Tony Stark, and he's creating nanotech.
That's awesome.
Like, I remember seeing this thing that Robert Downey Jr. invested in nanotechnology. Chris Evans put money into organizations that are against neo-Nazis.
do you think...
And
do you-
Deadpool
no,
put his money into liquor.
So,
I thought it was
which came first here? Did the scene from Infinity War come first? Do you like it? It's nanotechnology. Or did he fucking suggest that they do nanotechnology because he already invested in it?
Oh, shit.
Well, here's the thing. All this technology, the fact that we have phones, a.k.a. tricorders, in our pocket is because we saw it in Star Trek.
Yeah.
All the shit that is fantasy at some point becomes reality. The idea that we have millions of whatever floating through the air right now of information, which I have no fucking idea how it works.
Right.
Like TV.
And I can just pull up that shit right now because I have a little receiver that's plugged into some electricity. It's fucking
Well, you guys
magic.
think about
dude.
this, I remember, have you ever seen The Fly from the 1960s? Yeah, that. When fucking Vincent Price comes on, one of his first lines, I hear you're working on something really far-fetched and completely out of this world. What is it? A flat screen? And it goes like that. And I was like, God damn, we got flat screens now.
I know, dude. Going back to, I
Yeah.
told you guys about my Men in Black thing. I remember watching that movie and seeing the CD and seeing the little CDs. Like, I'll have to get the White Album again. I remember thinking, what is the next evolution of that? I was like, a tiny box that you carry with you that has all your music on it. But how the fuck would it carry your music?
Right.
MP3s weren't out.
Right.
I didn't know anything about Napster at the time.
Right.
So I technically created the idea of an MP3 player in my head.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, there's an idea. There is an idea called Thought Space that was proposed by Alan Moore. If you ever watched The Mindscape of Alan Moore, which is an awesome documentary, I highly suggest you check out on YouTube. He talks about the idea of thought space. It's a metaphysical level of which people for thousands of years don't think of an idea. And then all of a sudden, in the span of 10 to 15 years, 3 or 4 people have the idea out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And these people are given the opportunity to advance with the idea. This is why we have Edison and Tesla. This is why we have whoever made the locomotive engine. There were 4 different people who came up with the idea out of nowhere.
That's
the
awesome.
Wright brothers. There were other people trying to fly. So there's a thought that the ethereal whatever goes, okay, now you're ready. Boom. One of you take the reins and do this shit.
awesome. I
That's
like
what
that
thought
theory.
space is. And that's exactly what it is. So maybe I was the person who thought, MP3 player, I don't know how to do it. And there were 10 other people who said, I know how to do it. Who knows who created the MP3? We don't know. We know, in the same case as Edison, in the same case as Steve Jobs, which we're going to talk about more, it's not so much about who creates the technology, it's about who knows how to promote it and use it properly.
Yep.
But should you still get
Sorry,
credit if
Waz.
you just think of it?
What's that?
Should you still get credit even if you just think of it?
Well, the problem is
Or should that
you
or
can
should
get
rely on
credit.
people who could actually create
Here,
one?
let me throw this one out there. One of the prime examples. Who was the forefather of video games? Do you know? Was it Nolan Bushnell, who created Atari? Mm-hmm. Okay. Or was it the guy who created the Odyssey, Ralph Baer? Ralph Baer is technically the first person to create an at-home console with the Magnavox Odyssey.
Yeah.
But Nolan Bushnell went to a tech show, saw it, said, okay, he's got this creation, 2 paddles and a ball. I'm going to take that, create Pong. Mm-hmm. So he technically stole Pong from Ralph Baer, but he never admitted to it. And if you watch any interview with Nolan Bushnell, he'll just be like, because he literally had to pay him out of court. They settled out of court for this. So, who actually gets the credit for the creating of the... Well, who gets the credit for it?
Bush now.
Exactly.
Right.
Ralph
Not
Pear
only did he
doesn't get
think of it, he actually created
and
it.
he knew how to promote it. And once again, that's another connection to Steve Jobs, who we'll be talking about later. On to the next movie news. God damn it.
Movie news!
How do you guys feel about this? And this is a weird one. Sophie Turner wants to play Boy George in a movie.
That makes sense.
It does. They look a lot alike.
Who's
don't
Yeah.
they?
Sophie Turner?
From Game of Thrones.
Jean Grey?
Sansa, yeah.
Well, I don't see why that'd be a big deal, because, I mean, like, what's her name? Kate
oh,
Blanchett played Bob Dylan.
Did she really?
Yeah.
What? I could honestly, when I read that news, I was like, you know what? That actually makes a lot of fucking sense. That's actually really good casting.
Yeah.
They look alike. He's effeminate like that.
I want to fuck you, but you gotta put on the Boy George outfit. Go put on the Culture Club, baby. Give me Culture Club.
Oh, I love it when you Culture Club me, baby.
Hey, baby, go put on that old Karma Chameleon.
And then she comes out, do you really want to hurt me? Let's round down and kind of get to our subject here. Toy Story 4, it's already 100% certified fresh from every review that has been released. That means every review has been 100% for this movie. I've only seen the trailers when we watched it in movie theaters, and Javi was over there just, oh, I'm blinking. I could barely even watch it because I had
That makes so much more sense now, because he can't jerk it in there. So that is, yeah.
between that and How to Train Your Dragon when he was like, coming hard. Toothless, give me a mouthie.
I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna shoot. KFBR 392. KFBR 392. KFBR 392.
What's that from MacGruber?
Yeah.
Yes. That shit was great. But yeah, so it's already 100% certified as fresh. Other than the trailer, have you guys seen anything about this movie?
Just the trailer, I've tried not to watch too much on it. I mean, yeah.
I'm in the same boat.
I don't know how I feel about it.
You know what? I don't know if I've aged out of Toy Story or if I just, because I don't have kids, I'm not excited about it.
Well, I felt like I said my goodbye in the part 3 whenever Andy gave the fucking toys away to the little girl.
Right.
Like, we've already said our goodbye to them. So now we have to go back again, and I don't know if it's going to do the same thing for me.
Yeah, I don't have the same spark, because when Toy Story 3
Toy Story
came
3
out,
was really good.
I was fucking pumped.
I was a little teared up at the end, whenever, because it was the end of an era, in a sense, you know?
How about you, Javi? You excited about this movie?
Alright, I wasn't. I'm still technically not, because come on, like, enough of the fucking sequels, Pixar! Cut this shit! But when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh shit, this could be fucking good. It's just like, I'm a toy. I was made to make a child happy. I was like, oh fuck, Woody coming in heavy with the drummer.
Jesus. But, oh my god. Disney they're not putting out any, like, fresh content. They're only doing, like, sequels and remakes.
That's
like,
what
what the fuck?
killed
Yeah, I
Pixar
was gonna
for
say,
the
what the fuck is
longest
going
time.
on here? How did Cars 3 get greenlit? Toy sales? That's the real Toy Story.
Okay, so what's going on? And Jake's right. It is toy sales. That is what happened. But let's get into the history of Pixar, because that's going to be our subject today. Toy Story and Pixar in the beginning. There's a great documentary you can watch called The Story of Pixar. If you want to buy it on YouTube, it's $3.
It's really good.
It's amazing. It goes up to 2007 with the history of Pixar. But just to kind of give you a heads up of what it was, Pixar started as a division of ILM, which is George Lucas's group he made so he could make the Star Wars movies.
Skywalker Ranch.
So it began in 1979 as Graphics Group, a division of Lucasfilm. It's known for CGI animated films now, but back then it was created so it could be used for RenderMan, which was a program they created mainly for particle effects and other things within movies. The system was initially called Reyes, Render Everything You Ever Saw. The first time it was used was for the movie Star Trek The Wrath of Khan. ILM created the video that you see of the Genesis project recreating the planet. And if you've ever seen Wrath of Khan, it's a killer fucking scene. And that movie is awesome. It totally holds up. I don't know if you guys are Star Trek fans, but I'm a huge fucking nerd.
I like that movie. Not a Star Trek fan, but I like that movie.
I do.
Yeah.
That movie's just a killer fucking movie altogether. It was also used for young Sherlock Holmes, if you guys remember the stained glass night scene in that movie. And that was the first time that they came out and they said, these computer-generated graphics can be used for films. And that stained glass scene, that's still pretty fucking intense. It's pretty cool. Do you remember that from that movie? Young Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah, he's fighting a stained glass knight?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well,
that shit was dope. That's what I was trying to think. I was trying to think which movie it was that had it almost, like, to me, I thought it was like Paper Knight or some shit. But yeah, I remember it as a stained glass.
Oh, it was badass.
Yeah.
So what happened was in the mid-'80s, Lucas got a divorce, and I didn't realize, because he always bitches about his divorce in the documentaries. If you ever see, he's like, nah, she fucking left me, and it's fucking bullshit.
Well, she fucking ruined goddamn Temple of Doom.
Is that what happened?
Well, that's what I think happened.
Well, dude, you know his wife is responsible for Star Wars as we know it. She was the editor on that movie. Well, what happened was the original Star Wars movie, after he filmed it, it was a fucking mess. That original script was so... I mean, Star Wars is outlandish anyhow, but the script was fucking crazy. So you see there's a bunch of deleted scenes, and you can find deleted scenes that were dropped from the movie, like in the speeder, whenever he's talking to his friends on the planet early in the movie. And the movie was like 4 hours of fucking nonsense. Just all this gibberish no one understood. And we know it now because we grew up with it. We understand all the gibberish.
Right.
But imagine 3 times that amount of gibberish, and the story made no sense.
Well, there was no context for it.
Exactly. So his wife went in, starts editing it, and starts doing things that have never been done before. Quick cuts. Because you got to remember, before that, movies were long epics, but there were long panning shots.
Yeah.
And they didn't just cut to the action. These movies took their fucking time. Star Wars is one of the first times you see movies like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
We're cutting, we're getting to the good shit, we're cutting, we're getting to the good shit. And so she, as the editor, created that. So they had a close relationship.
Is this Kate Capshaw, though?
I don't know.
No, that's Spielberg's ex-wife.
Okay.
Lucas and his wife divorced in the 80s. And he literally, I was watching a documentary on, maybe it was Temple of Doom the other day, I think so. And he said, I was divorced at the time and I was depressed. So I said, fucking Kali Ma, bitches. and so he did. He took a beating. Plus he took a beating.
Yeah, it really hurt.
And the divorce settlement, she took a lot of that shit.
That really hurt, too. Oh, I have $4 billion.
So, in the divorce, he had to get rid of some of his assets in ILM, and they knew that the Pixar branch of it, which it wasn't called Pixar yet, was going to be gone. So everyone who worked there rallied together and like, we gotta fucking do something, we want to stay together as a team, we want to continue to work. So they incorporated, and then they were sold to Steve Jobs. And Steve Jobs came in with a very low bid, and George Lucas was like, fuck you, Steve Jobs, you're not getting this. But sadly, no one else would take it, so Steve Jobs ended up getting them for a very low amount of money. Now, this time he's an entrepreneur, he's building Apple.
Yeah.
Later got kicked out of Apple, but he's buying up all these other companies, and he's taken over. So Pixar was not a company he cared much for. He just kind of ignored it. At the same time this is happening, the key figure of Pixar comes out of the woodwork. His name is John Lasseter.
Yep.
And Lasseter had been a huge fan of Disney since the time he was a teenager, and he found a book in a library called How to Animate.
Yep.
And so Lasseter ends up working at Disney World. Yeah, that's when he ends up going to work
Where the Magic Kingdom is.
And he falls in love with it, and he becomes an animator. And he goes and he works for Disney after Lady and the Tramp was a huge success. They hired a bunch of animators on.
I have that book, by the way.
Did it influence you?
Oh, yeah. And I realized, holy fuck, I can't do this.
Why can't you do this?
Because it's like really fucking intricate.
But you know what? They play towards people's strengths, and you got to remember that. With anything, there are people who probably work there that can't draw people worth shit, but they can draw cartoons all day long, like Cogsworth or Lumiere or fucking Sebastian. I personally can't draw human beings. When I see your drawings of human beings, it blows my mind.
Right.
But I could draw a cartoon all fucking day long. You throw me a Cogsworth or a Lumiere, I'll be like, fucking there you go, be my guest, bitch. So they play towards people's strengths. You don't have to be a jack of all trades. But you can be good at one specific thing, and then a director's job is to go, you're good at this, you're fucking doing this.
Yeah.
So Lasseter, he wasn't a director, but he wanted to become one.
Yeah.
And he had seen the RenderMan software in action. He goes, you know what, I got an idea. He looked at a book called The Brave Little Toaster. He's like, I want to make this movie, but I want to animate the characters, but I want to use RenderMan for all the backgrounds. Make these CGI backgrounds in this movie. All right, I want to show you an example of this. So he gets Where the Wild Things Are, which is a very famous book. And he animates it, and you can actually see the animation online. It's fucking cool as shit. Have you guys ever seen it before?
I have not.
Oh my god, let me show it to you real quick. This is the animatic using the RenderMan.
I
do remember seeing this.
Yeah. They used to play it on the Disney Channel once in a while.
How far we've come, baby. I will say this. I have always said...
I will say this. I have always said...
Guys, I'm not here. I'm not all here. I feel very fucked up.
Alright, good.
But I've always had an issue with fucking 3D animation and 2D animation being combined.
I disagree, dude. I think watching that, which you can find by just looking up John Lasseter, Where the Wild Things Are, shows what could have been done.
It works in video games.
I think it worked there. You guys didn't like that?
I liked it.
I really liked
awesome.
that. And also, that probably helped with Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because Who Framed Roger Rabbit, that level of shading to implement those characters into it, you see it right there.
Right. Roger Rabbit was 2D.
Roger Rabbit was 2D, but what I'm saying is within a 3D environment, aka real life, the amount of shading that he showed on there, there's no way they didn't look at that and go, this can be done based upon that. That animation was such a huge thing at Disney, it actually carried over for the next 10 years. But at the time that he made it, it actually fucked him over. Because he stepped on the toes of the executives above him. Because he just took Where the Wild Things Are, made an animation of it, took it to him. They were working on a project already. It was somebody else, and he was like, oh, fuck. Fuck you, Lasseter. Yeah. Basically, he went in to a meeting, which he was already screwed in. The executive came in, and he looked at him, and he goes, all right, pitch it. He pitches it, shows him the reel, gets super excited. He's like, this is what we can do for the Brave Little Toaster. We want to have this same idea.
Yeah.
The first thing he said was like, okay, what's it going to cost? And he was like, well, the same as any other traditionally animated film. He's like, no, we're not going to do that. We're only going to do it if it's cost effective. Now, keep in mind, this technology is brand new. It cost a fucking arm and a leg to use. And processing power and the computer support would have been
still does to this day.
Right.
So he goes, we're not going to do it if it's not cost effective. Leaves the meeting. Gets a call from his boss 5 minutes later. Pulls him in and goes, all right, your project's done. You're fired. John Lasseter gets fired from Disney because he stepped on the toes of somebody who was higher up than him by working with Where the Wild Things Are. So eventually we do get The Brave Little Toaster, which I like. I think it's a fun movie.
Yeah,
it's great.
But that original screenplay came from John Lasseter. He'd been working that for quite some time.
Wow.
Lasseter's out of a job. He's depressed. He lost his dream job with Disney. So what's he do? He goes to the guys who had worked at ILM because he had gone to tech shows before that to look at the technology. Obviously, he used it. And at this time, Pixar is a company that is selling that 3D technology only. And they're saying, we have the technology. What can we do with it? So they hire Lasseter on, and what he ends up doing is to show off the technology, he creates short films. And so you get the first short films with 3D animation.
Are we talking about the old man playing chess and then the little drummer boy?
Eventually we get there.
The drummer boy was the first one.
The first one is Andre Wally B, which is really fucked up. It's really rudimentary. It uses like geometric shapes and stuff like that.
I think I've seen it before.
It's not great, but here's the thing you got to keep in mind. John Lasseter was an animator. They brought him in. They didn't have any animators there. They just had a bunch of Poindexters putting up, pulling up their glasses going, well, we could do this with this technology. Then he makes Luxor Jr., which is the first short film animated with computer graphics to be ever nominated for an Oscar for a short film. Then, after that, we get Tin Toy, which is the one you were talking about. It's the little one-man band, 10 guy who's going around and stuff, which freaks me out to this day. That's weird.
It's a little weird.
It's a little weird.
But it was the precursor for Toy Story.
Exactly. 100% precursor to Toy Story. Then we get Knick Knack, which is the little snowman and the globe.
Yeah.
So they're creating these short films. They're getting some notoriety. They're showing that animation can be done with this. At the same time, he brings in two more animation people. He brings in Andrew Stanton and Pete Docter.
Yeah.
He goes, okay, we need to keep this company alive because at this time Pixar is just drowning. They've got some notoriety because Luxor Jr. has been nominated for an Oscar. He goes, we need to make money. This place is drowning. Steve Jobs is throwing money into it, but it's just not working out. There's nowhere it's going. So what they do is they turn to commercials, and they start creating commercials. And that's what he has Stanton and Doctor do, is go in. There was a shit ton of commercials that they ended up creating. In the meantime, Disney is going, what the fuck? This is amazing. We got to get this guy back. Why did we ever lose this guy? Michael Eisner is taken over along with Jeff Katzenberg, which begins the beginning of the Disney Renaissance in animation. Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin. What'd you say?
Fucking Katzenberg.
Yeah, we'll get into Katzenberg. He's an interesting character. And by the way, you can hate Katzenberg as much as you want, but you get those fucking great movies because Katzenberg came out. Plus, you get Shrek later. I like Shrek. I'm a fan of that. Katzenberg, he knew he was a tyrant, and he literally would go into meetings going, I'm a fucking tyrant, but what I say is right. And he goes, I'm right about 100% of the time, so you're going to do what I want you to do.
Yeah.
And even further than that, if you watch those old Disney VHSs, they would have, like, we're coming out with The Lion King next year. Yeah. And they would show Katzenberg all bald with his fucking weird face, like laughing with the animators and having a good time. That was all staged. Yeah. Katzenberg was a bitch. Katzenberg came in and literally was whipping everyone. And he treated them like shit. But he was good at PR, so he would come in and go, oh, we're all friends, we're all buddies. Yeah. In the meantime, he's going,
Robin Williams
get it done quicker, get it done faster, do better. He was just a fucking evil man. Yeah. People hate him, but all those amazing movies we love from our childhood are because Katzenberg was like that. And sometimes you have to have an evil to come up with all that good.
Yeah.
He's our Darth Vader. So anyhow, Eisner and Katzenberg are trying to get John Lasseter back. He is on the fringe of creating something new. And they go, we will bring you back, we'll pay you whatever you want. And Lasseter goes, no, I'm not going to leave them.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm with this company. And at this time, the company is drowning. Any day now,
Right.
Pixar is going to go under. And finally, like, okay, they had a meeting. They sat down. Katzenberg's, all right, we can't get you back. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We'll make a deal with you. You're going to make us one movie. You're going to use your computer technology that you want. And if it works out, that's great. If not, bye.
Yeah.
That's what we said to him. And that movie we end up getting is the first Toy Story. So in 1991, they signed the deal. They say, okay, we're going to make this movie for us. What do you got? And what Jake said before about Tin Toy being the inspiration for Toy Story, that's exactly what it was. To the point they were going to use the characters from Tin Toy. They were going to have Tinny, which is the character with the big drum and the cymbal. And they were going to have a ventriloquist...
Ventriloquist.
I've been talking a lot. A ventriloquist dummy named Woody, who was going to be sidekick / villain of the movie. Pete Docter, Andrew Stanton, John Lasseter write this movie. And whenever Katzenberg sees it, it's like an Odyssey story, and like the ventriloquist dummy named Woody has rounded up all the other toys to go against Tinny, and it's a lot like Lotso in Toy Story 3. There's a lot of parallels to that. They take it to him, and they go, no. He goes, no, I don't want this. He goes, make it more like a buddy comedy. They go back to the drawing board, and they begin creating what eventually becomes Toy Story. There's only one problem. The character of Woody, who was the villain, the ventriloquist dummy, is still kind of villainish. And so it doesn't really work. And you can watch old storyboards of Woody just being a fucking dick.
Well, I mean, you can get that vibe just from watching it. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. When I was a little kid, I got so pissed
he
at
was
Woody.
fucking,
He was
jealous. Yeah.
But the character wasn't jealous in the initial run. He was a tyrant motherfucker. He was basically Katzenberg.
Ruthless.
He was ruthless. He was a dick. And maybe Katzenberg saw it and go, a little less Katzenberg in that, please.
A little less me, please.
Yeah. They go back to the drawing board. Well, you can watch the storyboards of it where he's yelling at Slinky Dog. He's like, you're fucking useless, you bitch.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
kicking him and shit. He's like, the only reason Andy keeps you around because I'm the shit and I suck his dick. So...
Where did he get this toy? That's why they call me Woody.
So they end up changing the story a little bit, and then that's how they get the dichotomy. At first, the Tin Toy, they're like, well, you need to update that to something more modern. He's like, well, how about G.I. Joe? Well, what's better than G.I. Joe? How about G.I. Joe in space? And that's how he got Buzz Lightyear. And the ventriloquist dummy ended up, I can't say it, ventriloquist.
Ventriloquist. And every time you say, you just put that in there.
All right, ventriloquist. Is that right?
Ventriloquist.
Ventriloquist.
There you go.
I didn't think I said it right there. Eventually, they're like, well, how about a pull-string cowboy? Let's do that instead. And that's how Woody came along. And so it's like, yeah.
I'm leaking.
So that's how they get the difference in those. So anyhow, Toy Story eventually came to be released in, I think, 1995?
Yep.
Sorry, that was a somewhat brief history of the beginning of Toy Story. I apologize.
This is great.
The movie was released November 22nd, 1995 on a budget of $30 million. The box office ends up being $373.6 million on that. When Toy Story first came out, what was y'all's experience with that? I know, finally got around to it.
Oh, no, it's fine. I
20
was
minutes later.
13 years old, so, I mean, to me, I thought it was the shit. Loved it. It was the coolest cartoon that had come out yet.
When you first saw the previews for it, or you knew it was coming to existence, what did you think?
This is going to be the shit.
I remember seeing previews of it, and I was like, it looks like a video game.
Right.
That's really cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was groundbreaking, but you couldn't even put it into words at the time, I guess. It's just like, hey, they made this with computers. You want to go watch it?
You know that computers that they got over there? Give that a try.
They made this computer.
They're looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I used to own that company. Get out of here, George Lucas, you some bitch. How about you, Javi? What'd you think?
I was in second grade. And we went
God, already set the stage.
Paint a picture, please.
Picture this. November. Perth Amboy, New Jersey. Time, fall. It was after second grade, Miss Deegan class. My mom took us opening night to go see this one because I really wanted to see it. Because I loved it. She was like, you are. I was like, oh, I got to see this shit. So we went. My mom was blown. My mouth was fucking hanging open the entire time we were watching it. Never seen anything like it.
Really? The whole time?
Yeah, the whole time.
So, how about you? Did you see it in theaters, Jake?
Yeah, me and my cousin went at the time. I really don't remember that much of it. I mean, yeah, it was cool, but I was 13. I was discovering jacking off at the time. So, like, watching Toy Story.
Yeah. I don't think I saw it in theaters. I think I watched it at home whenever it finally came out. I remember thinking, holy shit, that's a good fucking movie. And, of course, they watched it at school 80 million times and this and that. But I was always just blown away by the animation, the behind the scenes that they used to show all the time. Showing the process of how they animated.
Yeah.
I remember that weird spider/doll creature, and I thought that was the coolest shit ever.
Yeah, one of Sid's creations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that movie really does hold up. Holy
does.
fuck,
Yeah, it
is that
does.
a good movie.
Yeah.
The story, like we were talking about Woody getting jealous and that anger I felt towards him, but at the same time I could understand that because I was at the same age of having younger siblings where I was like, I had a major jealousy issue with my younger sister when she came along, so
Yeah.
I was just like, that spoke to me. And I remember the first time somebody said, "Oh, he's just jealous of his younger sister," and I remember, "No, I'm not." Yeah. And I remember that I was in preschool, and they're like, "Well, he's just jealous of his younger sister." I'm like, I didn't even know what it meant, but I remember being pissed off because I was jealous.
Right.
Were you just like, your mom's jealous?
So the movie spoke to me, and then that movie still holds up because of the idea of identity and who you are and the ego. Because Buzz Lightyear, he's not in on the fucking joke. Everyone else gets it.
Yeah.
And did somebody at some point have to tell each of those toys, "You're a toy"? The same thing. Did they have to go, "Listen, motherfucker, calm down. Get off your soapbox."
Well,
It's all one big joke.
but that's not how it goes. That's because he's that character. Because if you look at the trailers for the fourth one that's coming out, you see the spoon comes alive and is freaking the fuck out because he's alive. He hasn't. They're becoming aware of their sentience.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Ugh. Oh, I don't think I can
And
handle
he's
that.
like, "What am I?
I remember coming.
Kill me!"
I remember though that. Do you guys remember the first time you became aware of your sentience, or you became aware of the reality of everything?
Yeah.
I remember it was the moment that I realized that if there's no beginning to time and there's no end of time, and this is going for eternity, what does that fucking mean? And I remember that blew my mind to the point where I got up and I like threw a desk or something like that. It really freaked me out. I was like, no! Anyhow, back to Toy Story. Javi's freaking out right now.
All right.
You literally look like you need a bag of popcorn right now. You're just like watching the show.
Guys.
You know, you've been added to my memory of kindergarten where I'm just, no! And you're just in the corner eating popcorn. Fuck yeah, this is good.
Like, I'm at a level of fucked up that I haven't been in a long time.
Good. Well, let's talk about Toy Story. What else about Toy Story made you happy? Let's see if we can do it.
I liked it when fuck, I'm dying. I really liked it.
You want me to tell you my favorite part?
Yes.
Okay. Whenever they're at Sid's house, and
All I'm
he's
saying
already
is give me the popcorn.
Yeah.
Now. I'm sitting there going, hey, yeah.
he already burned the hole in the middle of his head with the magnifying glass on
yeah.
top of the grill. He put the match in his holster, and then whenever he has the talk with Sid. So Sid's fucked up for the rest of his life now after fucking witnessing a sentient toy talk to him and play nice with the other ones, and they're all crawling out on their own. Nobody believes him because he's a fucking delinquent. I think that was my favorite part.
I think the other thing is in that house, if you ever look at the carpet, I know this sounds
It's like The Shining.
It looks like The
Yeah.
Shining. Like little things like that.
And there's
little
supposed to be like
details.
pot leaves on the wall. But,
Yeah.
stuff
And like
that.
that house, we'd all been in that house before. You ever
Oh,
go to
yeah.
the grungy kid's house?
Yeah.
You're like, it doesn't seem right with the holes in the wall. Like,
Right.
something's wrong in this house. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's just like, there were so many details in that movie that just made it fucking good. And by the end, the way that they come together and just like, listen, we're gonna work together to get back here. The way that they all turn on Woody, the adult jokes where they're like, what is it? He throws them out the window and they're like, homicide!
Okay, so they do the callback where at the beginning, whenever Buzz is on top of the Hot Wheel and he goes to the loop and he pops out his wings and he makes a successful landing.
And he goes, can!
Yeah, well, he's like, that's not flying, that's falling with style. So then at the end, where he's got the rocket strapped to his back with the wings out, and Woody's like, Buzz, you're flying! And he takes it off, and he's like, it's not flying, it's falling with style. Like, that was a cool fucking
Well, all
moment.
those punch-ups were done by Joss Whedon.
Oh, yeah.
He was credited with writing that movie, even though a lot of the writing came from Lasseter and Doctor and Stanton. But they brought him in. They said, we need you to punch this up. We need this dialogue here.
He was working on Buffy the Vampire Slayer
at that time. I don't even...
Was that out yet?
I don't even
No,
think
I think
he
they came
was.
out like 97,
I think he was just a
98,
writer. Well, we did make Buffy the Vampire Slayer before that. You know what? I'm an idiot. The TV show came much later.
Yeah.
The movie came way before that. And that
But was
movie
he
in the
involved
80s
with that?
with Paul Rubens?
So okay, so no, it wasn't. The movie came out in 92. The TV show came out in 97.
But he wrote the movie. Yeah, so he wasn't up for that. But that movie was not a hit. That movie...
It was a cult classic. It was a
was
quick to
great.
cult
Well, that's
classic.
the only reason anyone remembers it, because the TV show was so fucking successful afterwards.
Oh, I remember
I heard
watching
it's
it
one of the
all the
movies. I never
time.
seen
Oh, I liked it.
HBO.
Yeah,
I've never seen the show.
yeah, I never saw the
I
show
never
either.
watched the show either.
Yeah, fuck
I've seen
that
an episode or two because Seth Green was in it.
Yeah.
I want to say like what he played. It's just not.
And I feel like the girl who played Buffy in the movie was fucking schmuck.
Christy Swanson, man.
Oh my god, I don't even know who that is. But in my memory, I remember it leaking. That's what I'm gonna say.
Boy, I'm getting ridiculed a lot tonight here, fellas.
I'm sorry, she made me leak, man. What do you want?
My favorite part is when Buzz realized that he's a fucking toy. He's like, just fucking like,
I'm Mrs. Nesbitt.
I love Mrs. Nesbitt.
Yeah.
And like, when he grabs his arm that's been like ripped off, or when he tried to fly his arm broke off, he goes, "Snap out of it, Buzz!" And he like flips his hand, and he backhands him with his own fucking hand.
And then he's pointing it at him while he's doing that.
I bet when he's creeping out the window, he's like, "Everything's good here." He's got the arm. He's like, "Give me a high five, man." Something's weird here.
What a hug, buddy.
And he goes, "I can't even go out the window." And he's like using his hand to point out the window. Tell me the hat look good. Tell me the hat look good. You see the hat?
So the whole movie is fucking good because let's forget it. God damn.
You know, I kicked in. I just started thinking about the shark. He goes, "I'm Woody." Howdy. See, we can literally probably quote the whole movie if we started from the beginning.
Right.
That's how good that movie is.
You got a friend.
Yeah, Randy fucking Newman, bro. Fucking Randy Newman.
Oh my god. How about the video game? Did you guys ever play that for Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis?
Can't say that I did.
Alright, we'll skip that. Toy Story, huge hit. Pixar immediately goes into creating their next movie, which would be A Bug's Life, which I think is a killer fucking movie.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a fan. I know a lot of people...
I like the voice actors in it a lot.
Oh, yeah, dude. They got a huge ensemble
Kevin
cast.
Spacey, Michelle
Dave Foley.
Dave Foley.
Dave Foley.
The fucking Dennis Leary.
Julie Louis-Dreyfus. Fuck, they got everyone in that movie. So they're making A Bug's Life. At the same time, they start creating Toy Story 2. It was just to be a direct-to-DVD sequel. As they're working on it, though, they take it to Disney to show it to them. Disney goes, "It's pretty fucking good. Maybe we should make this into a movie." They're like, "All right, well, let's do it." So Lasseter comes off of A Bug's Life. What happened was someone who was just a routine technician there was working on deleting files out of the root file of the system. He deletes 90% of the fucking movie. Now, this is after they're like, "Well, maybe we should make this a theatrical movie." This happens out of nowhere. Now, did it happen on accident? Or did it happen on purpose? After watching and reading quite a bit today, I kind of wonder if it wasn't done on purpose.
Oh, I'm sure it was malicious.
But Lasseter takes over as director. They put together Toy Story 2 in 9 months.
And it shows.
They go back,
I thought...
who does it?
I thought some lady had a backup file on one of her computers and she was able to restore a good chunk of
10% of the movie.
Okay.
That's what they were able to get back.
Okay.
So what they ended up doing is they go back and redo the script, the voices, the characters, just enough. And that's why I said I got a little conspiracy for this, because a lot of the models were saved, but the animation was not. It seems a little shady to me.
Yeah.
And then they go into beast mode, where a lot of the younger animators are putting in crazy overtime, to the point where they're horror stories. The worst one being a guy leaving his toddler in a car one day to go to work.
Yeah.
Because he's like, "Oh, I gotta go
Just
to
so
work."
burnt out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they said that they put everything into that movie. Javi, you think the second one's not as good as the first one?
No, it just shows that it's rushed. In fact, it never had a theatrical release, Toy Story 2.
Yeah, it did.
It went straight to the...
No, it did not. You are fucking baked out of your fucking head.
You are gone, my friend. No, it definitely went to theater.
Alright, it just wasn't my favorite.
Okay, so
I thought it seemed rushed. I thought it looked rushed.
So what is it about that movie?
It had smoother animation than the first one.
And they did stuff that was leaps and bounds beyond what Toy Story 1 did.
Yeah.
I probably don't remember part 2.
Okay, then.
Do you remember what happened in part 2?
I know there was a pizza truck.
Okay,
There was the Pizza Planet.
There's a Pizza Planet in every fucking Pixar movie. That's besides the point. That's moot.
Oh, it's with the fucking old prospect. That's when Woody gets taken by the toy collector.
Do you remember when
voiced by Wayne Knight?
Yes.
And it had Stinky Pete, the old prospector,
prospector.
Kelsey Grammer.
Okay, why are you yelling at us because you forgot?
I'm not yelling.
Yes, you are.
Yelling?
Yeah, you were so somber. Well, I don't know. I just didn't like it.
No, I do know which one it was. It's like fucking Wayne doing it. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean it.
Just breathe, baby. Breathe.
I feel weird, guys.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I love Javi so fucking much. Because you say it was a forcible, it was straight to DVD, bitches.
No, it wasn't.
And as nerds, average, like, we have to know we're right. That's why we'll check our phones or this or that. But, like, you are just, like, already 10 steps ahead.
I'm just flying at the hip of knowledge. That's all.
Dude,
right.
it fucking makes me so happy, though. The movie comes out, does fucking gangbusters. What are the numbers in this?
I really did like 2.
90 million.
Oh, there we go.
The
truth finally fucking comes out.
90 million for the budget, 497.4 million. That's $500 million. That's nothing. Snuff at. Is that the right word?
Sneeze at?
Sneeze at.
Nothing to thumb your nose at?
That's nothing.
That's the one.
It's nothing to put direct to DVD. I'll tell you that. Leaking.
Boom! Dude, I actually did pop a boner in like 10 minutes. I don't think I leaked though, but...
What the fuck were we talking about?
That's when he got super frustrated about going to DVD. I cut out a bunch of shit. He's like, motherfucking dude.
Oh, maybe that's his thing. He likes to fucking spout off wrong facts just to see if he gets caught, and then whenever we call him out, he gets a fucking boner.
It's so weird that it's so specific for a fetish.
You are a sadist, good sir. You are a
sadist. Tell me I'm wrong, correct me again.
It's like that fucking episode of Sunny where he's like, you just gotta follow me. I gotta become Brian Lefebvre. Whenever he gets called out, we're all gonna get off, my friends.
Oh my god. Oh, I didn't know I'd get back to it. Oh god.
Just a couple people who just totally got off. You got off just now? Oh yeah, big time. And whenever he showed the thumb. Oh. Alright, sorry.
Javi, you fucking sadist. What? Oh, you're a sick man.
He's a masochist.
He's a masochist. You do have that, though. So, Toy Story 2, Jake, did you like the movie?
Yeah, I did.
Did you watch it on DVD when it went straight to DVD?
Yeah, I got a special screening, I think.
I'm not looking over there.
All right, is it as good as the first one? Let's be honest. I don't think it is. I know a lot of people will like it more than the first one. I don't think it captures the same magic as the first movie. But I do think that they were able to do something different with it. A lot of sequels can't do. Where they, instead of rehashing the old story, which is, they get... Well, I guess they do rehash the same story. Fuck it. Fuck this movie. You like this movie? You like this movie? I fucking hate Toy Story 2.
Now that I think about it, I don't really care for Jesse's arc in it.
Oh, wait. I like that.
It's the same fucking story as Woody.
I guess it is, but at the same time, I really like Jessie the Cowgirl.
I mean, she's cool.
Yeah, she's
everybody is the same fucking thing, is all I'm saying.
Joan Cusack.
I have a thing for crazy
Joan
redheads
Cusack.
and Joan Cusack. Yes, you're 100% right. You don't think Joan Cusack's hot?
I just went, so yes, I do.
All right.
You ever seen Pretty in Pink?
No, she in that?
She was on SNL at one point.
What about Addams Family Values?
Oh my gosh, she was so fucking hot as Debbie. You are Mr. Debbie! I suggested! Denied!
What it was the Debbie. Because that's what
I'm on fire today.
Yes, you're doing good, man. You're not leaking. I'll tell you that.
I could be. I don't know.
So, Toy Story 2 comes out, does fucking gangbusters. History repeats itself again. Pixar gets into this deal with Disney. They're signed for 3 movies. First, it starts with Toy Story.
Starry.
Apologize. It starts with Toy Story.
It starts with
Toy Story?
It starts with Toy Story. They're only doing 1 film. Once the movie does well, they extend the contract to 3 films. So they do Toy Story, Bug's Life,
and Toy Story.
They don't. That's the thing. They build into the clause of the contract, any sequels, they will not count towards that. Pixar doesn't realize this. So as they release Toy Story 2, they go, okay, the 3 films are up, can we renegotiate? And they're like, sequels don't count. Reread that fucking contract. Ooh. This pisses them off. At the same time, they've already negotiated for 7 films.
Yeah.
So now they're already in a contract with Disney for 7 films. Toy Story 2 does not count as the 3rd film in their contract. So they're in the contract. They're like, okay, we got to create anything that's original, anything that is sequel will not count towards these 7 movies. Now, they get a pretty sweet deal, though, with Disney. Originally, they were only given the cost to produce the movie plus 12.25% of the back end. When they come back around after they renegotiate, they get 50-50 split. We will provide 50% of the financing. We will take 50% of the intake. And that's how the studio grows and grows. And this time it's growing into a fucking behemoth. They've created their own studio. They're
producing these films, original content. They've got multiple movies going at once. So they get through their contract. Cars will be the last film on that. Disney, still headed by Michael Eisner at this time, they decide, fuck Pixar, we don't need them. We can do this ourselves. So they create their own animation studio. Now, at this time, Eisner had destroyed all traditional 2D animation. He goes, we're not doing it anymore. Frog Prince came out a little bit later. That was the swan song, basically, of traditional 2D animation.
They got rid of the best animator at the time, Glenn Keane, who, as a fuck you, did Duet after he got the actual Disney. Which was, if you ever seen it, it's fucking badass.
Never saw it.
Pretty good fuck you to Disney.
So they create this, I think it's called Circle 7. They create their own animation studio. Michael Eisner goes, fuck you, Pixar, go where you want. I don't give a shit. Well, they see that this is a major issue. So Michael Eisner gets kicked out, basically, of Disney. He had been the CEO for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And Bob Iger, which was somebody who worked underneath him, ends up getting promoted to CEO of the company. And he ends up going to Hong Kong Disney, the opening of that. And he notices during the parade, all the characters in the parade that meant anything were from Pixar after 1995, after Toy Story.
Yeah.
And Disney had not produced any legendary characters in their traditional 2D animation at that time. And he goes, we need to do something about this. So his goal at this time, he goes, you know what, we're just going to buy them. $7.5 billion is what they end up buying Pixar for. Now, why this plays into the story of Toy Story is, at the time, Michael Eisner said, well, we'll just open up our own animation division, fuck them. And we own the rights to all these characters, so we'll make Toy Story 3 ourselves. So, as Pixar is looking to go this way, Disney is looking to go this way, they put in production Toy Story 3 at their new animation studio. And Pixar is pissed. This is just more peeing in their tea at this point. They're so angry. They're like, these are our characters. We created them. They belong to us spiritually. These are our children. How can you, take my children and think you're going to raise them? They really, really are angry. And it's Bob Iger who comes in and goes, listen, we got to do something. We're going to lose them. And they created our last 10 years worth of characters that are worth a shit.
Yeah.
So he buys out the company. And what they do is what's very interesting. When you look at Disney, Pixar is not blended into Disney as a whole. They allow them to still retain their own individuality as Pixar. And on top of that, they take John Lasseter, who basically created Pixar in the animation studio and the ability to make these amazing films, and they go, we're going to bring you over here and have you be the head of all this animation too. So we're going to have you look over all these houses.
Nice.
Then you get the new renaissance of Disney animation, where you get things like Wreck-It Ralph, Tangled, Frozen, movies like that start coming out. And Lasseter was talking about at the time, he said, we're going to bring back 2D animation, which they've yet to do, but hopefully they will. So they get back Toy Story at that time. We're going to scrap everything they were working on, and we're going to get rid of this animation studio they opened, and we're going to open up the old animation studio and put all of our 3D shit in there now. Nice. So Disney now has Pixar and Disney working on animated films year-round, churning out, one a year right now? Yeah. Pixar movie, one a year, Disney movie.
Pixar has gone to the habit of like once every 2 years.
After Toy Story 4 comes out, they're going to start working on original IP again.
But the last one was like fucking Coco.
Oh, God damn it.
Coco's fucking good.
Coco's amazing.
Awesome.
Wow, Coco's good. So Toy Story 3 ends up coming out, and it does fucking crazy. Well, I went to theaters to see this one. I think it made $1 billion, didn't it?
It was close to it, if not.
Did you guys go see that in theaters?
I did.
Yeah. And I remember being like, there's no way they're ever going to make something better than Toy Story. Holy shit. I think I like Toy Story 3 the best of all three in that series. That movie... Yeah.
But it's dark. So what it is like, you're growing with these characters, and they realize that also, that you've been on this journey with them. The people that started off as kids are making this movie a sign of growing up, yeah.
And it shows almost immediately. Andy has put the toys away. He's going off to college. He's probably found leaking is a problem for him also, so he's jerking off as much as he possibly can when he first gets up in the morning. But it's an interesting story where they're like, well, we'll be here. And it's kind of the... How much?
$1.63 billion.
Shit, I knew it was a lot, dude, because we all went to see that fucking movie. And it, like you said, it tugged at the heartstrings.
Yeah.
It really did speak to where we were at that time. When I was growing up, I had a massive toy collection. Yeah. I loved going and
I still do.
I collected McDonald's toys, Burger King toys, all those things.
Here.
I had crates and crates of them. That Pac-Man that sits up there was one of the first toys I ever had in my life. That means a lot to me, and I carry it with me to this day.
It's awesome.
Like you said, the mantle of different things. Jake got me that. A couple of things that are up there. Javi got me that's up there. I like having those things. Do I play with them? No. But do I like to look at them?
No, but I was saying, I'm right there with you. I have a shit ton of toys still, but it's not the same as
when you were a kid and you actually pulled them out and you went, oh, fuck you, no, fuck you. Well,
G.I. Joes were the shit.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, dude. I like Care Bears and My Little Ponies, man. We won't talk about that.
Yeah, I'm the gay one.
It's okay.
At least I'm not leaking on them.
You got me.
So, but it does.
He's only leaking in his pants, man.
Not on you. It's like, oh, Doug, let me leak on your belly button. Catch him a leak. Catch him a leak.
Yeah, Javi.
I thought Cyclops was the gay one.
Can we go back to Toy Story, please?
Yeah.
Oh, God. What is it about that movie that speaks to you?
When they all thought they were going to die, and they're just like, fuck it.
Shit.
And they were like reaching each other's hands and just going,
Yeah.
fuck.
They're aware of their own fucking mortality also.
they were just looking at each other.
They just become melted plastic and then they turn into another toy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. But just the fact that they were just like, ready. All right, this is it. We're all going to die together. And they're just like...
Did you ever see the prank video where the kid re-edited Toy Story 3 to have the movie end at that point?
Yeah.
And he just puts up like the directed by John Lasseter, and he shows it to his mother, and she's just like, "Oh my God, what?" And so it passes through the next day, and they're sitting at like a family meeting. He's like, tell Dad what you thought about Toy Story 3. And she's like, oh, it was terrible. It's the end of the movie, they're holding hands, and they're going into the furnace. Why would they end the movie that way? And they're all like, watch it. Worth your time. It's fucking hilarious.
Lots of fun hugging Bear.
Yeah, what a bitch.
Yeah, but I also liked him at first also. The character design is amazing.
Oh, yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. The fibers on it looks fucking real as shit. Ned Beatty, who voices him.
Yeah, he fucking kills it, dude. That, and then like having it be like the jailbreak thing, the Great Escape idea of where they're stuck in like, the retirement home / concentration camp or whatever you want to call it. Kind of going, hey, we don't really have anything we can do with Buzz. He's in on the joke now. So we're going to make him malfunction and become his, I guess, his Spanish Buzz, where he's like, oh.
You got to reset.
Right.
Yeah, it was so fucking.
Oh,
like,
by the way, can we just like point out one thing? Michael Keaton as Ken doll.
Oh, yeah.
How fucking awesome was that?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Michael
the whole
Keaton's
movie,
great and everything.
That movie, it feels like a Marvel movie to me in a lot of ways. They were able to take something that's serious and then punctuate it with a series of fucking jokes that made it really work.
Yeah.
I was like, man, it's the same vibe that you get a lot of Marvel films. It's your cake and you can eat it too kind of thing. Where it's like, you get the best of both fucking worlds.
Yeah.
It's good.
I like it.
It's one of those movies where it's like, you want to watch Toy Story 3? Yeah, fucking go on.
You know, and then at the end, whenever he gives the toys away to the little girl.
Oh, that's what I fucking loved.
That's when he was leaking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, God.
Why did that speak to you so much, you think?
Because it's like Jake said, it's the end of an era. Like, I started
like
in 1995 when I was 8 years old, and I'm finishing them out as an adult. It's kind of like come full circle. It's just like,
I think Toy Story 3 meant more to me at my age than I was whenever I saw it than me being 13 whenever I first saw Toy Story. I think it's the best of the series so
And
far.
also, it's kind of cathartic, too, because you think, where did Woody come from? He had to have been handed down to Andy at some point. Through parents. There's theories out there that his mother was the girl who had Jesse the
Jesse's owner.
Yeah, at some point. And
which would explain the Andy's red hat,
exactly,
his cowboy hat, and all that shit.
Exactly. And I really like that when they delve into that. And that's what I'm saying. There's layers to this.
So maybe she got rid of Jesse and handed down Woody to him.
Exactly.
Because she knew she was having a boy, and that's why she got rid of her.
Or I always thought of it as...
That makes a lot of fucking sense.
Would she come back around? Would Jesse be like, oh, she was my owner eventually? Or would she not recognize her because she got older?
I wonder if it's like the situation where Toy loses, if he's passed on to another kid, if he loses all memory of the kid before that.
Well, I guess this next movie could answer that question. That's a good fucking question.
Right.
Wow, that's kind of cool. I like that. That's good.
Oh, wait, are you saying, are you asking if they remember their past owners?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why they fucking remember.
Oh, yeah, we have the answer to that because Jessie.
No, but I'm just saying, Jessie, she had a past owner, but she wasn't really like claimed as the toy collectors. She was just kept in a box for display. So,
right, but she probably remembered that also.
Right, she does remember the girl.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, I thought I had something good there.
Yeah, you did for a second.
Yeah.
For
a second.
Then it fell apart.
Well, then on top of that,
then they got corrected.
The toys all remember Andy, even though they belong to the new girl now.
This is true, damn.
Oh, yeah, because he fucking branded him like a sadist. You see,
he did mark her.
Did you see that? He was like, listen, you're mine, Woody, you little bitch.
My mom used to do that for my toys also.
Well, that was so your brothers wouldn't steal them, right?
So no other kid would steal them, like hanging out with my friends or whatever.
We didn't have that. It was like a grab and growl situation where it was like a pack of Wobbles and they're like, here, have this. We're like,
No, I got separate toys. I got their hand-me-down shit.
Yeah.
So I got like a shit ton of G.I. Joes.
Fuck yeah. It's like, hey, you want this big crate of these? Yes, I think I do.
Yeah. Oh, all those garbage pail cards? Yeah, don't mind if I do.
With this movie, though, I do think it speaks to, like you said, the generational thing of it's time to move on, it's time to move past this, it's time to grow up. But also that scene at the end, this is this one, and he's passing on the legend of his toys. I think that really works too, and I understand why that's emotional. It is. I cried. I didn't leak like you.
It's practically a Bible verse. Whenever I was a child, I thought I was a child and spoke as a child, but as I became a man, I put childish things away.
I lost it when he held up the piggy bank and said, "This is the evil Dr. Porkchop." I was like, oh God, call back to the first one.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I don't have kids, so maybe that's why I'm not super pumped for the next movie. Because maybe that does speak to that, but maybe it'll go
I don't have Sharon, and I'm super pumped for that.
They could carry on with the theme of putting away the childish things, because you got like Key and Peele in it. They're at the carnival, and they're essentially playing their characters from the show Key and Peele, and they're talking about, man, you know they're coming out with the Toy Story 4 or whatever.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Or they're talking about Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that. I gotta watch that.
What? They're making another Toy Story movie. No! I thought those movies were done, dog. They made 3 movies. They did make 3 movies. This is number 4. Oh, shoot! Come on! I love the Toy Story, dog. Toy Story is my jam. What about Buzz Lightyear stuff? I am Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger. And then Woody's like, you are a toy!
What the fuck was that? That was just Key and Peele.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. How do you guys feel about that?
I liked it. It was fun.
Should be good.
Yeah.
I mean, other than Potato Head, they've never really taken a comedian's personality and put it directly into the
They
character.
did it for Slinky.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Oh man, who's gonna be voicing Slinky and Potato Head for this one?
Well, Potato Head, they got the Don Rickles. They used previous clips from other movies and they worked around it. Slinky Dog has been voiced by the guy from The Waterboy since the 3rd movie.
So they're essentially deep faking Potato Head.
No, it's actually him doing the voices. It's just lines they didn't use for the movie.
Oh,
right.
It's the same thing they're doing with Leia for Star Wars Episode 9. Other than that, I haven't. That's the second thing I've seen from it. And the question is, are you guys going to go see it in theaters or not?
I was debating on it. I don't know.
Do you think once all the reviews kick in and everyone says how fucking amazing it is?
I'll still wait for DVD or for it to download, but I'm not gonna see it in theaters.
No?
No. Wait till you give me a copy.
That's what I was thinking. Anything else you guys want to add about Toy Story, though?
I did appreciate that it was because of the first one that the animated movies for Oscars got their own category for Best Animated Movie.
That was Beauty and the Beast.
Are you serious?
Yes, dead serious. Beauty and the Beast changed that because it was nominated for Best Film for that year, and they decided that they needed its own category.
Yeah.
Doug, what's going on?
I think I'm stoned. I don't know what's going on, dude. Look how chill I am right now. How often do you guys see me lean in the chair like this?
Rare.
I was literally just thinking, like, I don't feel right. I feel very mellow right now.
I don't feel right. I feel like I'm off for some reason.
I do too, but I feel super fucking mellow
Well,
and
you
happy.
had some on points.
Yeah. Especially the points where you were leaking.
Oh my God.
Getting roasted! How's it feel to be so roasted tonight?
That's weird.
If you would like to leave us a comment, please, by the way, we need you to go to our Podbean, subscribe to that.
Flick our bean.
Please, flick our bean. That way. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you could go flick our bean on Podbean, that would be amazing. We need comments on our stuff. If you enjoyed listening to this, please share with your friends. We have another podcast on there called Heroes-Gyros, which is a D&D podcast. Definitely want you to check that out. Go to our YouTube at Quack Attack 5000. I just put up 2 new reviews for video games, The Goonies 2, and also Alien Syndrome Arcade. I want you to go watch that, subscribe, like, hit the bell. I'll do all that shit, I don't care. Also, go to our Facebook. We are Error on Facebook. Please join the group. Get involved. Say funny shit. Talk to us. Share this with your friends. Send me an email at quackattack5000@gmail.com. I will read it on the next podcast, even if it says about Javi leaking.
Do it. Yes. And I will leak all over your keyboard if you do.
And let us know what you think about Toy Story 4. It's going to be a movie.
Maybe alright.
So this has been Duck. I've been here with
Jake.
and
Javi.
And thank you so much for listening.